sucks when you achieved everything in life, but you're still out of shape. But luckily, there is a solution for that. For those who don't know me, I'm Coach Ábris, founder of Demi Cycle Protocol, and over the past year we helped over 50 high achievers and corporate executives over the ages of 40 and 50 permanently get below 15% body fat, double their natural energy levels, and gain lean muscle and strength, get in the best shape of their life in less than 2 to 3 hours per week, without counting calories, without restricting their diet, or without taking any kind of stimulants, performance enhancing drugs, or sleep drugs and sedatives. And how we got there is very simple. We put in the work, and the willpower was already there for the clients that applied to work with us. So it's very important that if you had the willpower to achieve other things in life, in other domains, if you already crushed it in business, you built an amazing family, right? You're still maintaining your relationships, you are networking all around the world, but you are still out of shape. Probably you are an unsatisfied man at the age of 40 and 50, but you might have the willpower to change this. And once you have the willpower, once you have that mindset that you can't procrastinate it anymore. Usually this happens when you have recently had an epiphany moment that okay, enough is enough. You know, it's time to get my health, my shape, my body weight, and all my health metrics under control. And if you have already come to this realization, probably that's why you're watching this video, because you wonder that, okay, what is the next step? What is the next challenge for me, right? Because previously I made a video which might stir the pot a little bit, when I said wealth doesn't matter above $25 million net worth. And just think about this. So why am I talking about this number, right? Am I pulling this out of my ass? No. Am I worth $25 million? No, not yet. But some of my clients do. And they told this to me, so they have personally said that, okay, after that level, there is no big difference in wealth and greater wealth, right? It's just flashy things. But the thing is, usually for the ultra wealthy, their household spending doesn't really exceed $50,000 per month. For the average, for the ultra wealthy, ultra high net worth individuals, talking about 30 million plus, right? So it makes you think, okay, when you get bored of spending money, right, and when you have crushed your majority of your business goals and you have made it basically in your career, in your professional life, what is the next purpose, right? So probably if you made it this far in business, it's not likely that you are a very young person, of course. There are some, you know, outliers, but probably you're already 40, 50 years old, you have done your part, right? And making just more money or scaling even further your company might not be your number one priority right now. Of course, you might be the next Elon Musk. I'm not saying that you won't be, but the probabilities are low, especially if you're past the age of 40, 45, right? So at this point, you're looking for a new purpose, right? Other priorities become much more important to you. And one of these priorities probably is your family. So if you're watching my channel, you know that mostly who I'm coaching are 40, 50-year-old men on the conservative, family-oriented side, right? So when family becomes very, very important to you and they are your number one priority, you kind of shift the frame. You don't say it anymore that I would die for my family, I would do everything. No, you say, I would live longer. I would live healthier for my family. So when this kind of mindset shift happens, that's when you gain a new purpose. And what's the point of being wealthy? What's the point of being so-called successful in your life if you're still out of shape? What's the point of owning a huge private equity firm, right, if you have a fat belly, right? Or what's the point in owning a startup, waiting for investments, right? And every single time that you meet the potential investors, you show up as a person who neglects his body. You show up as a person who lacks the discipline to take care of his own health, right? It speaks volumes about you. And no, not about your expertise, not about your business experience, not about your credibility in the things that you do, because you're already amazing at what you do, right? I'm not questioning that. But it talks a lot about where your priorities are and how you structure your time. So as a high-level business person, right, who wants to convince an even higher-level business person for an investment, for example, you want to convince them about one thing, that your company has value, and it's not that much dependent on you, right, if you want to sell it. Or if you're applying for investment, still, you have to convince them that, okay, it carries the future potential values that it wants to have, right? But think about it for a second. If you can't manage your time, that means that you can't manage your body, right? Because you can't even allocate 2 to 3 hours per week to just get to the gym or train at home and to be in a decent shape. You really don't need more than 2 to 3 hours per week with the right systems in place. This is what I want you to remember. But if they see that, okay, this guy must not be very good with his time management. Why? Because he can't even manage his time in a way that he could prioritize the way he looks, he appears, and makes first impressions, right? And what's the point? Another thing, what's the point of having a yacht or like a luxury airplane, whatever, flying private, if you are just not confident enough to take your shirt off by the pool, right? If you have a big beer belly, saggy man boobs, you're not confident in looking in the mirror, your wife could kind of appreciate more vitality from you in the bedroom, right? You run out of breath when you are trying to play with your kids, and you are just mentally not present when it comes to being just there in these moments that you spend together with them. And it's not just your family, also your network, also your friends, also any kind of important stakeholder in your company, right? You want to be there on those meetings, you want to be there on those family events, you want to be there on those conferences. And when I say being there, it's not just being physically there, but being mentally present. It's very important because this is what you ultimately change when you start getting in shape. It's not about how you look, it's not about the abs that you will have, your flat stomach and wide shoulders, right, and a nice V-shaped back. These are just the surface level things. What you really get out of this is that you're changing your brain chemistry. You will become more energetic and it will be easier for you to focus and be present in the moment. This is the biggest benefit of getting in shape and getting your health fixed while you still can, while you still have enough energy at the age of 40 and 50 to change things around and add another decade into your life. I think your family would be happy about that, right? Your wife would be happy about that. Your kids would definitely appreciate it. So you could be like present around them for longer, right? So think of the value that you bring into this world, and you have already brought it through your company, through your investments, through whatever you did during your career, right? You've already brought massive value into this world. So now it's time to focus on your personal values, and that's when this kind of new purpose, chasing physical excellence and athleticism comes into the picture, right? You don't have to be a bodybuilder, you don't have to get jacked or something like that. You don't even have to like get this kind of semi-decent muscle mass that I have, right? You just want to look and feel better, be a little bit slimmer, and that's it. And that can be easily achieved in like 6 months if you are morbidly obese at this point, maybe 12 months, okay? But then, when you got rid of the fat, you got rid of the excess body mass, right? Then you have basically set yourself free for life if you did it in a way that it's sustainable with a system that you enjoy and that you could maintain for a lifetime, right? Because otherwise, if you do like 75 hard or carnivore diet or paleo, keto, whatever, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, right? Because that's not sustainable in the long term. It's not something that you could follow in your most stressful and intense periods, your high seasons in the business, right? It's just not possible. And for some people, it might be doable for a year or two, but usually they relapse, and otherwise they are lying. So this is something that you should remember when you're watching these YouTube channels, when you're watching fitness personalities on social media. Usually the ones who follow really restrictive diets religiously either get paid for this, right? Or they're just bullshitting, right? They're telling you lies straight to your head. And yeah, the reason why I'm transparent about my clients eating ice cream and pizza and me eating ice cream and brownies is that, okay, we are made of humans, right? We're not restricting your diet, we're not gym rats. I'm not training more than twice per week, okay? So that's it. Being transparent, I think, is much more valuable than just bullshitting people and fucking them over, right? Because then you may get bought into the belief that you need to cut out carbs and only eat fats and proteins or whatever. You only need to eat animal-based stuff to be able to make progress. You need to cut out everything that's grains, whatever. You can't eat a piece of cake ever again in your life. Whatever they are telling to you, you might have bought into these beliefs, but believe me, you don't need to do that. Don't make health and fitness harder for you than it is already, right? I'm not saying this is easy. But I'm saying this is simple, and it doesn't require more than 2 to 3 hours per week of your time. So when you have got to the point that you have achieved everything that you wanted in life but you're still out of shape, just think of it, how much better it would feel that you would be that cool, badass, ripped business owner who's not just successful in his career, in his financial life, and with his family, and with his marriage, but also is in amazing shape. And this kind of mindset also shapes everything around him. Every single facets of life, every single domains of your life. And you will become more energetic, you will focus, you will concentrate better, and you get to the point where you just feel so amazing in your body that you will maintain the habit just for the dopamine, the happiness that you get out of this. So if you don't believe me, talk to one of my clients who have just did that. And actually a story came to my mind. Recently we started working together with a client who is a startup founder, 37 years old, and told me like, hey Ábris, I've been focusing on my business like heavily for the past 5 years, all bootstrapped, and we became very successful. And when I say very successful, you can think of in the 9 figures range. Okay, that's fine. But he said he was so messed up with his sleep schedule, and he put his health so much in the back burner, neglected family so much, that he got to the point where he was like sleeping 2 to 3 hours per night, working 24/7, 7 days a week, not even taking the time to recover a little bit, and having a messed up schedule and high stress levels, high cortisol levels because of that, and ended up gaining 60 pounds. 60 pounds of body fat over the span of 5 years. But how amazing life and biology is, that 5 years of wrongdoings can be undone in as little as 6 months. You can lose 50 to 60 pounds in 6 months. Don't tell me that you can't. We did that with many of our clients before. And we did that in a way that they didn't have to count calories, they didn't have to say no to their favorite foods, and they didn't have to cancel their restaurant appointments or their travels. So we make it suitable that even if you're traveling the world 24/7, right, and year round you're taking more than 20 flights per year, you will be able to get and stay in shape, right? Because that's important when you're going to conferences, when you're going for business trips. Of course you still want to stay in shape, and you don't want to tie yourself, you don't want to limit yourself to the presence of a gym or to the possibility of meal prepping every day. That's boring. That's for athletes, because athletes, for them, this is their craft. For bodybuilders, this is their art. This is what they are getting paid for. You're not getting paid for being fit. Being fit helps you get paid better. That's another thing. And being more energetic, because this dude, 37 years old, after putting his everything into his startup in the past 5 years, he also told me that, hey Ábris, I recently realized that had I been more energetic back then, had I taken care of my sleep, and had I had like a sustainable but also consistent routine in the gym and with my nutrition, I probably could have done all these in as little as 3 years. And when you come to this realization that how much time health saves you, not just by extending your lifespan, but being more efficient with everything that you do, throughout the whole day, week, and month, that's when you realize that, okay, maybe just moving 15 minutes a day wouldn't be a bad idea. Or maybe just working out in total like 2 to 3 hours per week is something that I could do. But of course it's difficult in the beginning. Of course, you might get overwhelmed and you might be clueless at the start that, okay, how do I do this? How do I prevent that first 4, 5, 6 years of just fucking around and figuring out stuff? How do I prevent that from happening? That happens to the majority of people who start going to the gym and start taking their health seriously. They mess up many things until they figure this out. Some people never figure this out on their own. So this is why we have founded Demi Cycle Protocol, that hopefully we can help with this. Either with these videos, or another option, if you feel like you can't really copy-paste these systems that we are talking about into your lifestyle, if you feel like that, okay, there are some tweaks that we could make to this, or you feel like that, okay, I know exactly what to do, but I'm just not doing it and haven't been doing this for the past years and decades, right? It's completely fine, okay? We are humans, we make mistakes. But if you feel like you're this type of person and you're ready to make a change, you're ready to be committed to a plan that works for you in the long term and is sustainable and you actually enjoy it, and you're not the type of person who wants to procrastinate, and if you really made it in life but you feel like you're still out of shape, it makes you have low confidence, not so secure about yourself, and you feel low energy, you got out of shape in the past years, then definitely go to the description and book a free call with us. And based on the questions that you fill out, we will craft up a custom game plan for you and a roadmap for the next 6 months, how we will get you below 15% body fat and in the best shape and energy levels of your life, and without having to take any kind of sleep drugs, melatonin, or having to consume stimulants, having to count calories, or training more than 2 to 3 hours per week, or saying no to your favorite food. So this is all you get on the other side. But if you're the type of person who can't make decisions alone, or who can't get committed and stay committed to a program, or you're the kind of the person that even with accountability falls off in 30 days, right? Or if you still make up excuses for yourself that you don't have time, that you have bad genetics, that you have a slow metabolism, that you're too old for this, that you will not succeed even though all of my clients did, right? Then you might reconsider booking this call, and you might want to get your mind in shape first. Why am I talking so much about mindset? And what does that mean that you're getting your mind in shape? Well, you want to become that person who is mentally already there. You want to become that person who is mentally already in shape, and then it will be just a matter of time and following the right habits consistently for months straight to get there. And if you're not at this spot yet and your mind is not in shape yet, this is exactly what I help you do in my previous videos, so feel free to go through them. And once you get to the point that, okay, you're ready, you want to be committed, you're ready to invest in your health, and you clearly see the returns of this and it is relevant to you, then you can come back to this video and book a free call in the description below. And if you generally like this video and you do agree that money is not everything, wealth is not everything, there is a purpose beyond just the material things in life, and lifting weights or getting in shape, being fit is not only for vanity, it's actually about being of value, being a person of presence to your family or to all the people who are important to you. If you resonate with this message, let me know in the comments below, and press that like and subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and share this with your friends, family, team members, colleagues, employee, or whoever you feel like they are important enough to you that you want them to live longer and also a better quality of life. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.